everyone, Jason here from Off the Beaten Path, and we're off on another adventure. Now it's not the adventure we were planning to have. We were planning on having our first multi-day trip in the DOT this weekend, but that wasn't to be. Went to pack the DOT up yesterday to leave on that trip, and guess what, 12-volt issues. Anyway, you'll probably hear about that in another video, but long story short, you know, my limited understanding and ability to troubleshoot the 12-volt, I think the Manager 30 might have died. But anyway, you get that. So where are we and what are we doing? So we're up in northwest Victoria. I actually headed this way to visit my mum. It's been a few months since I've been back to see her, and on the way to do that, yeah, we've just left Horsham, and we're heading to one of the best kept secrets of this area that I thought while I was heading this way I would share with you guys. So you've all probably heard of the Grampians, but have you heard of Mount Arapiles? Now if you're at all remotely into rock climbing, you've probably heard of it, because that's what it's known for. It's a bit of a rock climbing mecca. People actually come from all over the world to climb at Mount Arapiles. Now, you can't climb all the areas you used to climb. There's cultural heritage issues that have been identified, and that's a whole nother story. And if you're a rock climber, you understand that pain. And that's not what this video is about, so look, I'll just leave that there. But Mount Arapiles is an amazingly scenic mountain. It's very accessible. It's not a four-wheel drive destination. It's not somewhere you go to drive, you know, hard tracks and that sort of thing, but it's definitely a place worth visiting, and it's definitely somewhere I thought was worth sharing with you guys. So it's literally about a half-hour drive from Horsham, and most of the way there is bitumen, so super accessible. There are some campgrounds there at Mount Arapiles, so you can camp on site, so that's certainly an option. You can go and camp there, and there's a couple of good walks you can do. Look, we're going to check out a couple of the sites. We're not going to do everything. We've only got a couple of hours to sort of spend there, but hope you guys enjoy this video, and hopefully it inspires you to get out off the beaten path and take the road less traveled, guys. Yeah, we'll be there soon. So continuing on, we're getting closer to Mount Arapiles, about 10 k's or so to the turnoff. And look, not the best view through the trees there, but that is Mount Arapiles that you're looking at there on the right hand side of the road. It's very cool, but looks a lot better when you get closer to it. Some amazing rock formations, similar to what you see in parts of the Grampians, which are also not too far from here, but the difference here is this is just one big mountain. Anyway, we'll be there soon. So we've just come through Nadamuck, little town part way between Horsham and Arapiles, and we're a bit closer, and also less of an obstructed view through the trees here. So there she is, Mount Arapiles. So there's the sign. It's a little bit worn, that one. Turn right, Mount Arapiles, 300 meters. So this is the turn off. Right onto Centenary Park Road, then slide left onto. So this is the turn off to Arapiles here. Now I believe there's one road up to the summit, which I think is, yeah, that one there, and this takes you down to the campgrounds, which is where we're going to go first. So that road over there takes you up to the summit, and there's some other things to see up there, but a lot of the features are best appreciated from the campgrounds, which are down this way from what I understand and what I remember. Look, I grew up in this part of Victoria and came to Arapilies back when I was a teenager, but that was a few years ago, so it's been a long time since I've been to Arapiles. It would have been the early 1990s last time I was here, so I certainly wasn't driving myself here at that time. Hi guys, so look, while we're making our way down Park Road here towards the campsites, I thought I would just bring this map up. So this is the Parks Victoria map, and it's one of the best maps for this area, and you can download this obviously for free online. It's a PDF. So yeah, we've just come in from Nanamark Horsham on the Wimmera Highway, and we've turned onto Park Road here. We're heading down here towards the camping area, which is just in here, and these are the rock faces where everybody likes to climb, sort of all the way along this front face here on the northeast side. As well as that access, there's a number of walking tracks down here for those that are somewhat fitter and more eager than I am. And there is this circuit road around here, which we do take a loop on just to check out as well. It is the only opportunity for four-wheel driving, if you can call it that, but it's a nice little drive nonetheless. And then you've got Summit Road here, which takes you up past Melville Cave. We were going to check that out. So that was an old cave for one of the old bush rangers in the area. I ran out of time and didn't get there, so I have to leave that for you to discover. And it was pretty parked out. So the road takes you up to the summit here. Very short walk to the lookout and summit. Well worth it. A very easy walk to do. A couple of 100 metres, if that, and plenty of amenities in this area as well, guys. So look, without any further ado, I'll get back to the video. So yeah, we're coming up on the campgrounds just up here. I think they were originally established as sort of base camps for climbers, and as I mentioned, there are a few walking tracks as well. There's a few boulders like that people used to like to climb. I'm not sure you can still climb all of those. As I said, we might check that out on the way out. We've got oncoming traffic. He's given us plenty of room, isn't he? So there's 3 separate camping areas in here. There's long drops, so it is sort of a full amenity campground. As expected on a weekend like this is Easter weekend, it looks like it's pretty busy. Wow, there's a phone box here. No wood fires 1st of November to 30th of April, so that's worth keeping in mind. Getting a park here might be interesting. I did say that Arapiles was the best kept secret of this area, didn't I? Clearly it's not a secret to all these people. A lot of day campers here in tents. Day campers, what is that? A lot of campers here in tents. Let's see what we can find in terms of a spot to park. It really is chock-a-block. Like, just get a load of that. Like, anywhere and everywhere you could pitch a tent, there's a tent pitched. Look at that view. So here we are with 1,000 other people at Mount Arapiles. Gives you a little bit of a snapshot here of the amazing rock formations. Now these are called the organ pipes, from what I understand. And an amazing crag up there. That was always super popular for climbing. I'm not sure if you can still climb all parts of that or not. Anyway, we're going to go for a little bit of a walk and get a bit closer. So, walking track. See if we can get a bit better view. A little closer. And look, you can see there's some climbers. Right there. Pretty eager. Pretty awesome. Just spotted these guys doing a crack climb. Also quite eager. Take all the time you need to think about that next foot placement. I just spotted these guys on another part of the organ pipes there. Let me just pan back to give you some context for where they are. Very eager. Many people up here climbing today. And if I can get this in frame, really hard to see on the camera screen, but I think I've got it there. You can see there's actually a cable suspended and there's a climber there, I think, doing a traverse on that cable. Assuming I've got that in frame. Just getting their feet up now. And you can see, well, maybe you can see up high, there's actually a couple of cables traversing up very high. I'm pretty sure they weren't there last time I was here, but who knows. Tracks here are not exactly clear. A little bit low clearance. It's the track to the, I think, the start of the climbs for the organ pipes. This section of Arapiles here, and the D minor pinnacle, which this is a lot more open track here. I assume that's the pinnacle there. Plenty of books published on climbing in this area if that's something you're interested in looking at. Back at the organ pipes, just from around a little further. And there is a walking track up through this valley here, between this crag and the organ pipes. And no, I'm not going to walk it, I'm going to drive up there. But feel free to come here and walk it yourself. A little bit better view from here. There's that main crag face. And you can see there's a rock climber about halfway up. Let me see, I'll use the viewfinder to see if I can get him. So just zooming in on that big vertical crack there, a little closer. And I think we need to go lower. I think he's in here. Yeah, there he is. Very eager. So again, now that we've located him, let me just pull back for some context on where that climber actually is. He's a long way up. Here's a bit of a close-up view of what that stone's like. You can see it's a conglomerate stone. This one's pretty well weathered. There are some edges you could grab hold of if you were climbing it, but she's pretty smooth. People are still climbing the faces, or this main face anyway. See if I can find these guys. There's a couple. The one with the orange or pink shirt there in his back is on a rope. He's made up a head there. But yeah, pulling out again, there's some context for where these guys are climbing. One of the bouldering areas here. So bouldering is where you practice climbing by climbing structures not very high off the ground, so it's generally safe to do without ropes. Great for kids. And you can see there's a heap of different rocks and boulders here, which is where bouldering gets its name, I guess, to climb and practice on all different degrees of difficulty. For example, that you can see some chalk marks there. People do actually climb that, which is just nuts. Not on my best day, which was a long time ago. Another well-climbed boulder here with a myriad of chalk marks on it. This probably is the more technical side. Somebody's chalk bag, there must be somebody climbing it. I don't know that this side's really any easier, to be honest. And you can see up there, some guys have just made it to the summit of that rock pinnacle. Awesome job. So that's the other side in full of that rock. So we're going to head from here back to the car, assuming I can find it, and head up towards the summit in the car. Part of the way up there is an old bushranger cave to explore, and we might check that out. So this track here seems to be heading generally back in the direction of where I parked my car. So it's not super well signposted here. You're going to need a paper map or a good digital map and a reasonable sense of direction. This is more around the north side of Arapilies, and I'm sure this camera is not doing it justice. This is Castle Crag. This is just a sheer rock face. Basically just vertical. Although I do think Castle Crag might be this structure here. I will double check on the maps I've downloaded if that's Castle Crag that we're looking at just there, which is sort of detached from the main rock face, and whether this face has a different name. So this is just on, there's an access track past the Gums campground, and yeah, pretty much two-wheel drive. So just doing a lap around Arapiles. So this is just a little bit further on from Castle Crag car park. This is the Watchtower Faces car park, so still on that same face sort of that we were on before. Now the map does show a track heading off up there, but that's clearly management vehicle only. It might even be closed, it mightn't even be for management vehicles, but the track does continue past here down this way, so that is where we're going. As I said in the last bit of footage, it's very much a two-wheel drive track around here, so super accessible. And look guys, for those of you that are only after four-wheel driving content, I get this is not what you're after, but I think there's a fair few people now that follow the channel that like touring destinations. This is definitely somewhere you could bring a van or a camper trailer. There's plenty of room back there, and you could definitely spend a day or so taking some of the walks, even if you're not into climbing. The access trails for the climbing spots along the base of the rocks there would make for quite a nice walk. I sort of enjoyed my walk in the hot sun about as much as I was going to enjoy it, and it was just long enough for me, thank you very much. But yeah, we'll follow this around and ultimately get around to the other side where the main road up to the summit is. So you can see the sign there, the Northern Group and Curtain Walls car park, and you can see some of the telecommunications infrastructure there up on top. Oh, would you look at that? It's almost turned into a track. It's at least got some gravel on it now. To be honest though, guys, I'm still just driving this in two-wheel drive. And no, I haven't let the tyre pressures down because I'll be back on the bitumen soon. It's a little bit bumpy with the tyres at 40 psi, but it's fine. And yeah, look, you can still drive this in a two-wheel drive car, I think. So yeah, this is just the I think it's marked as a four-wheel drive track. Mitre Rock, 0.7 kilometers. Interesting. Stalled it. Try to start off uphill, even in first gear. You got to give it a little bit of gas. It'll crawl along very happily in low range, of course, but I'm not in low range, I'm in high range. Oh, there's a walker doing it the hard way. We're going to turn that music off or we'll get a copyright strike. So yeah, look, it's a pretty easy drive around here. and you could walk it, and if you had more time than I've got and you like to walk it in the hot sun more than I do, it's probably a very good thing to do. But I'll happily take my air-conditioned four-wheel drive in the hot sun and drive along here. Thank you very much. Okay, so this section here might actually qualify as a track, I suppose. Although I'm still into two-wheel drive, but you'd probably need a little bit of clearance even to get up out of those ruts and drive on top of them like I just did, rather than your standard two-wheel drive. But look, any all-wheel drive vehicle should make it along here all right, as long as you got a little bit of clearance. All right, I guess we follow the red arrow, do we? There's Mount Arapiles. So this road does take you quite a ways from the mountain, like, I don't know, half a K or so. I use the term road kind of loosely, but yeah, we're pretty much coming around now to, I think, the western side, and shouldn't be too much further, another couple of Ks I suppose, and we'll be back around to that access road. And clearly it does get soft on this track from time to time, but not at the moment. It's like oh, hello. Yeah, this is we might at least go into four-wheel drive for this. It's clearly been soft. Just that's just the tow hitch dragging. Choose our line here. It's clearly been soft at different times. Obviously, if you come through here in winter, but at the moment it's all pretty hard packed. Some people have definitely dug out some holes here on this section of the track. That was just the tow hitch hitting again. Yeah, anyway, look, we're literally only a K or two from getting back to the main road, and yeah, we'll head up the bitumen when we get there. So just coming back here to Natamunk Golf Links Road, apparently. That must be it, just out here. So we briefly come out of the Mount Arapiles Reserve area onto this nice well-made road here again, and not very far along here we get to the back to the bitumen road you saw at the start and up to the summit, and that's where we will head now. So we're just back out on the main highway, as you can see there, Mount Arapiles, turn left. The sign coming from this direction is in a little bit better shape. So yeah, we came out off that Golf Links Road onto this main Wimmera Highway, and here we are back to this intersection. So we've done a full loop right the way around Mount Arapiles, and I don't know if you can read that sign there, it says Mount Arapiles Summit, 4.5 kilometers. So here we are. There's some maps you can collect over there, and just in case it's not clear, this is a no-through road. It goes to the top of a mountain. But popular attraction here by the look of it. Yeah, so that's definitely it. Melville Cave Bushrangers Bluff car park. So look, I guess some of these vehicles are probably for climbers and some are people who are hiking. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to push on up to the summit and come back and hope there's a few less vehicles here. So we'll catch that one on the way out. We've got somebody behind us. It's quite likely there'll be people coming the other way, so you don't want to go too fast and you want to stay on your side of the road, unlike that guy. So yeah, purposely sitting pretty wide on that right hand corner. So there's this, when we get up here, the road actually forks in two. There's the Bluff Lookout on the right and the road up to the summit on the left. So we're going to go right and head towards Bluff Lookout as our first port of call. So are the guys behind us. I thought they might have gone to the summit. So there's the Central Gully walking track that I mentioned from down below. That's where you come up if you are so eager. Okay, old mate here's gonna just give us a spot. So I think the lookout is actually back there. I really have no idea. Oh, there is a lookout down the end here. Let's go and check it out. So, Bluff Lookout. Definitely the easy way to get up here. And there's the summit up there with the trig. There's the crag we were on the other side of earlier. Quite a good view from up here. Well, you can certainly see a long way, that's for sure. And there is another rocky crag up there that I think some people are probably climbing. A little bit hard to see through the trees down there, but down there is the campground and car parking area where we were. And off to the left there between the summit face and the crag is the track that we just drove around, wrapping its way around the other side of Mount Arapiles there. As I said on the way in, it's just half an hour from Horsham and within spitting distance of the Grampians. So a bit hard to see in this light. But that is the Grampians over there that you can just see, hopefully, in the distance. past that tree. So just back to the main road here on the summit, turning right to head up to the summit. I think this will be a pretty short drive as well. Now I'm not sure if there's one or two viewing areas up here. I'll soon find out. Fire Tower Car Park and Mount Arapilies Summit. Alright. So yeah, this is it. Alright. Try and get some shade. And by the look of that sign over there, Summit Lookout 50 metres, walking track 50 metres, Telstra Tower 150 metres. We might pass on the Telstra Tower. So that's where we're going to head, 50 metres up those stairs to the summit. But first, let me just show you, they've got one of the info maps over here. So you can see down here, this is the Wimmera Highway. This is where we first came in. And this is the campground area in here. And we went for a walk sort of in this area here. And then we followed this track up around here. So there's Mitre Rock, it's a little bit detached from the main Arapiles Park. We didn't stop and check that out. And then we followed McClure's Road around here. Didn't go into Campbell's Kingdom, not sure what that is. I saw the sign for the Major Mitchell cairn, so this is part of the Major Mitchell Trail. And then this is where we came down and we turned left. We took this direct route here instead of coming down here and then onto the Golf Links Road there. So it was through this section here that was a bit rough. And there's the Melville Cave that we'll check out on the way down. So we came up here. There's the Bluff picnic area where we just had a look. That's the Central Gully walking track. And we're just up here and we're going to go up to the summit. So look, compared to the high country, it's not a tall mountain, 369 metres above sea level, but compared to its surrounding area, it's sort of sticks out like the proverbial sore thumb. So there's a nice aerial shot of the whole mountain, and some of the white marks that you see on the rocks are not chalk marks from climbers. Some of them are peregrine falcon nesting or roosting sites. So there you go. All right, let's go and check out the summit. So just starting up the steps here. More steps. Looks like she's going to be steps most of the way up. Almost there. Let's go up and check it out. There's the Fire Lookout Tower, and just beside that is the trig point marker for the summit. And just along the track here is the actual lookout. Let's check it out. So you can't even see the main camping area from around here at the summit. Just a look back from the lookout to the trig point and fire observation tower at the summit here of Mount Arapiles. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a little different to our usual format. And to close this one out, I'm going to share something with you courtesy of Ed from New Zealand from November of 2023 that I found at Arapiles. Every day it rained in Auckland. It just would not stop. So I travelled to Australia and tiptoed to the top, where from my little lookout I could see what I had got. A cloud of pestering flies humming all around my head, a bloody squawking magpie child demanding to be fed. But the skies began to clear and I put all of it to bed. I did my best to squeeze test every drop from every day, lost a lot of skin from a tree climb on my birthday. I lay out under shooting stars across a glowing Milky Way, and the heavens they were happy as we found the perfect place for nuts ascended up a buttress and grasped onto the jugs, slung it through a hole and gave it gentle tugs. But you've got to watch your footing amongst the quick-drawn and the dead. Necrophiliac, the lusty crack, will make you question if it's your sweat. For those clammy hands have other plans, and you haven't made it just yet. Now I've heard the tale of Eskimo Nell, and I've climbed hell for leather, played upon the organ pipes, put a dream upon a feather. Raise a glass with perfect friends to these weeks of perfect weather. Now I know that we must go, and it's sometimes hard to leave, but with a cup so filled with love, I don't feel a thing to grieve. The best of friends will never end, and the mountains here for me. Look, that was something I found that Ed from New Zealand had written about Arapiles, and for somebody that used to climb a little bit, it was something I thought was worth sharing, guys. Ed from New Zealand, if you, on the off chance you see this, I hope you don't mind that I've shared your poem that you wrote down. And guys, if you watched and listened to that, rest assured poetry reading is not a usual part of the channel. Guys, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.